Welcome back again, Brothers Third Show today. Uh Good to see you here. I know it's late in certain parts of the United States, 10:12 a.m. PM in some parts of the East Coast, 4:12 a.m. here in Poland, and maybe 7:12 or 13 a.m. in California. But welcome back. We got a very, very special show with an up and coming brother, man, in the Black Manosphere. He's an excellent content creator. He's been on the show, The Hangout, at least one time with the other brothers in like my little long panels here. He's really a good YouTuber. A guy found a video that he actually did about, I think it was like, I think it's Steve the Dean when I found out. That's when I found his channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some other videos that he had did. It was actually recommended when I saw like a video. I was like, who's this guy? So I saw him, and then I started seeing some of his other videos and seeing it pop up. And that is Rusty Balls. And the name of this particular video is the Black Manosphere Dick Measuring Contest.
Oh yes,
So,
it is.
and this was inspired by actually really one of your videos. And once again, Rusty, man, thank you for coming on to the show. I know that you're a
Oh yeah.
very busy guy, married guy, father, and all that stuff. But again, man, you're a very smart brother. I appreciate your content. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
show.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Let me before we get into the kind of topic, I guess if you can give a little bit of a brief like a breakdown, like what your channel is about, what made you come onto the to YouTube, kind of talk about that real quick.
Well, I was on YouTube. I want to say 10 years ago under a different handle, Werewolf Boom, and I was kind of giving commentary on the Black Gender War back in the Blake Barbie doll Sergeant Willie Pete days.
Mhm.
Um, and I kind of got out of it, but I decided to come back after I saw that all these years the Black Gender War was still going on. So I thought I'd give my commentary. I want to say maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, I had actually heard of Red Pill, MGTOW, and stuff like that, and I was actually going through some marital problems. So at the time, so that's actually what kind of led me to that. And so as I saw how those things kind of tied in, Black Gender War, Red Pill community, things like that, I really started to kind of get into this. I stumbled upon your channel. I stumbled upon Alan Roger Curry's channel, and I'm really fascinated with his channel, which is kind of strange if it comes from a married guy like myself. But what's really interesting is when I think back to my early adulthood, my first marriage, and things like that. I mean, um, when I watch his videos, I just think of so many things that I wish I had known back when I was younger. And so a lot of things that I see, in your videos and so many others in the Negro Manosphere. I mean, it just really resonates with me. And so one thing that I want to do is I actually want to put out positive content. Um, I know that I have beefed with several other people here, every now and then, but I try to avoid that. The whole dick measuring contest is what I find out is that on so many channels, a lot of these guys are in the red pill rage stage. So if you say anything that's even remotely complimentary, towards black women, I mean, people want to jump all over you. Um, so words get thrown around like simp, which I mean, the thing is, it's there's a time and a place for it. But they get thrown around. Beta male gets thrown around, and things like that. And I just think that people are kind of going way overboard with it.
Okay.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
All right. Shout out to Dr. Deacon Eric P. $1.99. What up, Caesar, for a strong cup of coffee? Good to see John Paul back in the chat, man. I know he's been around the country, driving trucks and stuff like that. It's good to see our brother back in here. But let me just kind of, talk about the differences, because I don't think there was a term called the Black Manosphere during the first gender war than
No, there
what it
wasn't.
is now. Are there differences in black, let's call it black male YouTube? Shout out to my brother, Yes Jonas, Oshay, the harder working man. Is there a difference between the black men in YouTube now versus the first gender war with the black men on YouTube then?
I think there is. Um, so if you remember back then, back in like 2009, when it was Sergeant Willie Pete and Tommy Sotomayor was kind of up and coming, you had a lot more of that back then. Uh, I want to say Sergeant Willie Pete has calmed down. I mean, very significantly over the past 10 years. I mean, he's nowhere near as hardcore as he was back then, at least in my estimation. And then you also had, as far as the hardcore females, you had Blake Barbie-Doll and several others. Right now, probably the only real hardcore one that I can recall going on right now is Egypt Ann. But you had a lot more people like her back then. So I think that the gender war isn't as intense as it was back then. Thank God.
Okay. Let's talk about the Black Manosphere of 2018. It's not perfect by any means. What are you seeing in the Black Manosphere right now with some of the content creators? You don't have to name any names, but good or bad. What's your interpretation?
Well, like I said before, I think that you have a good number of people that are in that red pill rage stage.
Okay.
Now, fortunately, when I discovered red pill, MGTOW, things like that, when I was having my issues, I never was in that red pill rage stage. I just kind of took in the information and stuff like that and kind of used it for what it was. But if I go to certain other channels where you have certain YouTubers who kind of are in that red pill rage stage after so many years, you saw my beef with Obsidian a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to his channel and I made a comment because he's trying to go after Derek Jackson, and Derek Jackson isn't fighting. And I simply made a comment to that effect on his channel, and I just got jumped by a bunch of red pill rage guys. Just for saying that. So the thing is, it's if you say something that just slightly goes against their narrative, or you just try to be positive when everybody else is being negative, words like simp, beta male, or accusations of being raised by a single mother, and all this other stuff just start coming out of the woodworks, just piling up on you. So the thing is, it's really strange, right? Because the manosphere is supposed to be a positive environment for men,
mm-hmm.
but it seems like it's the total opposite of that, where we're actually trying to alpha up on other men to try to establish a hierarchy by insulting other men. And, it's just that I don't think that that's what the manosphere needs to be about.
What do you think that the manosphere should be about?
Well, it should be a positive environment. I don't want to use the term safe space, but it should be an environment where we're actually looking out for each other, passing each other the information that we need in order to grow as men, to succeed as men, and especially deal with women in a positive manner. But that's not going on. It's we need to be pro male, not anti male.
Okay, let me do this. You have 67 people watching right now. Me go ahead and do this, brothers. Do not come in here comment any other YouTubers' names in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, beefs are over and done with. So if you guys want to do that shit, take that to somebody else's channel. Don't come in here commenting people's names, talking about this person's a bitch or something like that. That's not what we're gonna do over here. All right. So you brothers take that garbage someplace else. So let me talk to you about the factions, because you mentioned like there's certain factions in the Black Manosphere that you noticed. Let's talk about that, because you made a good points about that. Can you talk about that real quick?
Right. So you have like the Ibmore, SYSBM. I believe there's EBM, like Escape Black Man, Negro Manosphere. So there's so many factions, within the Black Manosphere that seem to be fundamentally different from each other, that seem to have different goals and intentions from each other.
Let's talk about these different factions. Let's start with like SYBSM, and then we'll go to the ones. What are some of the good things that you noticed about the SYBSM faction?
Well, it seems to be about black male empowerment, which is always a good thing.
Okay.
And so, I do watch a couple of videos from the people in that particular faction. However, what I notice is that they seem to be strictly about dating out. There's none that I'm aware of that are actually in relationships with black women.
Okay.
So I'm not sure I would actually fit in with that particular community. it seems that Obsidian himself I'm not sure if he's a member of that community, but he seems to at least be aligned with it.
Yes.
So I'm not sure that that community is really for me at all.
Okay. Shout out to brother 313 Law to our super chat. Let's talk about the Itmore community.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with too many people within the Itmore community at all. So I do watch a lot of BGS Itmore's channel. I believe Angry Man's probably a part of that community as well. So they provide a lot of good information, a lot of factual information that I think is good to use. I have a guy who's about to back up into me. But yeah, I think that it provides a lot of positive information and things like that. And the good thing about the Itmore community seems to be that they have very good relations with Black women, which is something that I really like about that particular community. As opposed to say SYSBM.
Okay. No, I know there's Escape Black Men. I think that's the one guy that has a channel called that. I don't know if that's a community, but what do you know about this particular channel or community?
I actually just heard about that one a couple of days ago. So I actually have not found any YouTuber who's in that category, but I actually do want to check that out.
Okay. Let's talk about our community that we have over here, Negro Manosphere.
Negro Manosphere. You guys seem to have everything. So the thing is, it's about Black male empowerment, but it seems to be about, I don't want to say there appears to be a specific agenda, but it's like, whatever a Black man wants to do, the Negro Manosphere seems to be all about helping Black men get there. So I believe that it seems to be the most open-ended of all the communities. It's a very positive community. And I just don't see when I look at all the other communities, you seem to have a lot of angry people in it, within, like, say, for example, SYSBM and things of that nature. But I just don't see a lot of that in the Negro Manosphere. I mean, I see nothing but positivity for the most part within the Negro Manosphere.
Okay. Let me do this. We have 80 people watching right now. I know it's a late show, brothers, but do me a favor. Rusty Balls is a great. Somebody said, "What kind of name is that?" Yeah, it's an interesting YouTube name. Brothers, do me a favor and go into the description and subscribe to the brother Rusty Balls. I'm telling you, he's a really great YouTuber. But let's talk about this, because there does seem to be, between some of the more talking heads, some competition. I mean, I don't know if you noticed this, but some bragging here against other guys. I'm better than you. I'm better than sir, and so on and so forth. Have you noticed that between in the Black YouTube Manosphere?
Yes, I have, and unfortunately, I actually let a couple guys, bait me into that. So I actually had a video. I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but Big J Triple X has had an ongoing beef with this guy for probably a year, and I actually got suckered into a beef with that particular guy. Now, thankfully, that guy's channel got taken down, probably because of some issue that he had with a couple female YouTubers or whatever. So the videos I had up against him, I was able to go ahead and take those down as well. So my beef with that guy is pretty much erased. I'm not sure if you know who I'm referring to, but if you actually watch a couple of Big J Triple X videos, you might find out who that is. But yeah. From here on out, I think I'm pretty much better about that. If somebody comes at me with the whole "I'm better than you," or or "you must have been raised by a single mother," or "you're a beta male," or "you're a simp," or whatever, I'm not going to engage that shit, not anymore. And the thing is, I think that it would pretty much behoove all male YouTubers, Black male YouTubers, in the Black sector of YouTube to refrain from that, because we don't need that in the Black sector of YouTube, especially in the Black Manosphere.
All right. Shout out to brother Jonathan Green. He looks familiar. He looks real familiar. Shout out to Jonathan Green, brother, $25 super chat. My brother Turf Orga, keep up the righteous task, no strife between the brothers. Let me say this, brother Rusty, because this is what I noticed. Like, when I first came to the Black Manosphere, and no offense, right? But guys like you, Exanthos, Clutch, Donovan, guys who have more of a Caucasian kind of sounding voice or whatever, kind of talk, I guess, quote unquote white. there was like not really like a space. It was more like there was no real space for brothers that like articulate like in the way that you are. But what I see now is the Black Manosphere, like the guys who are actually bright, have some kind of education, guys who are like doing pretty good in life. Like the Manosphere is, shout out to my brother Reg, the bad guy. The Black Manosphere has changed to a point where, you know, guys like Rusty Balls you know, easily have a voice and have influence. Guys like Donovan Sharp have influence. Guys like Xanathos Clutch have influence. Let's talk about that, because you know, typically the guys in the Black communities that were like articulate, didn't sound real Black, didn't sound ethnic. They've always had a hard time. But it seems like now in the Manosphere, like the guys who are like some of the more brighter guys, um, are starting to get a lot more respect. What do you think about that?
I think that's always a good thing. I actually noticed that myself over the years, especially on Black YouTube. I want to say when I first started off, uh, 10 years ago during the whole, the Sergeant Willie Pete days, I would actually have people go in the comment section and just, have something to say about that. And since I came back to YouTube, I want to say early fall this year, 2017, I haven't been seeing that happen at all. In fact, I haven't gotten one single comment where anybody's saying something about my voice, either a compliment or an insult.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty good. People, who talk whatever way, I think that we all have something to contribute, and we actually don't get judged by our voices anymore, not as much. So that's always a good thing.
Let me ask you this. You know, I made a video today about Black men can do battle by themselves. And you know, like just like you, I'm an African American, and I prefer African American women. I hope that our relationships can be salvaged. It doesn't look like that will happen in Black America. It looks like, you know, there are some irreconcilable differences between the two groups. In the Black Manosphere, although I can say that the female bashing is not as strong as it used to be. It has died down quite a bit over here on this part of YouTube, but there's still a great disdain. It seems like a lot of Black men are looking for other options. Now, I know you have a great story because you were married. Your first wife was not Black. In fact, she was white. So let me ask you this. Do you think that there are differences between what Black men are wanting, these Black men who might be in red pill rage? Do you think these guys have some points about their experiences about why they don't want to deal with Black women or why they have issues with Black women?
It's hard for me to say because, and I'm going to give the Alan Roger Curry answer on this one. It depends on your experiences with these particular women. So a lot of these negative experiences with Black women that these guys are talking about, I really can't say that I've had. But at the same time, I mean, these particular Black women, I mean, if these are just hood chicks who are ready to fist fight them or whatever, I never fuck with those kind of women. You know what I'm saying? These guys may have. So those bad experiences or whatever, I can't relate. Now, the thing is, I will say that, and this is really funny, when I was in 11th grade in high school, when I was riding the bus or whatever, I actually saw, there was actually this one chick, who was actually trying to get with me, right? But when I first saw this chick, she was actually threatening to fight some other dude on the bus that was trying to get with her. So she was very combative and stuff like that, stereotypical. But around me, she switched up. You know what I mean? So the thing is I think that a lot of, it really depends on the experiences, and I really haven't had those negative experiences at all.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Do you think that like some of the other groups who have good relationships with Black women on YouTube, do you think that the Black Manosphere should not cater itself, but be open to Black women being a part of the Manosphere?
Yeah, certainly. I think so. I mean, the thing is, it's if one of the objectives of the I really can't say Black Manosphere because there's different factions of it. But if, say, the Negro Manosphere, for example, if one of the goals of it is to reestablish good relationships with Black women, then by all means, Black women should be a part of that. there is a black female equivalent to the Negro Manosphere where they want to establish good relationships with black men. I'm not sure of that, but if there is, I mean, definitely, collaborate and let's get this thing going.
Okay, I will say this with respect to that point. I had to ask the question, but Negro Manosphere, and here's the thing. I think that, black women have enough stuff for them, I think that the black manosphere, the reason why, I mean, obviously, I think the factions that are going to have, and this is the thing, the factions that have the most beef right now and the most trouble, it's over black women being a part of it. I really think that when black women want to do things for themselves, they never include black men for the most part. They keep us out of things. And me personally, as the guy, NegroManosphere.com, I don't have any problem with black women, but I can tell you one thing: they will never be over here.
That's fine. That's fine. So the thing is, if there is a separate, I don't know, maybe a smaller section set aside to where black women could participate in that, that I guess would be ideal. But like I said, if the whole objective here is to reestablish relations with black women, then some involvement could be beneficial, even if it's minimal involvement.
Yeah, think about this, brothers. I think we all need to, and there's nobody calling anybody names or anything like that, but I think that all the brothers who want to be a part of the Manosphere have their own opinions and they want to share them. Usually the guy says no. Guy saying no, thank you. So they shall not pass. What's funny though that you mentioned this? Here's something that's funny. You mentioned this. I bought a website domain. It was blackbeautyisme.com. I was gonna launch it. In fact, I probably was gonna launch it this time this year or next year sometimes. I don't have the time to launch it now. But I was gonna start a whole new website and a whole new community for black women outside of Negro Manosphere. But I haven't. Shout out to Mac City Limits Radio. Good to see him. But I just haven't had the time nor the energy. It just takes so much time to establish a community, even with black men. This is a hard job. So that I have thought about and pondered out a whole separate community, a whole separate base. But I just haven't had the energy and don't have anything to any more gas in the tank to do it. But definitely, brother, I think that we should always welcome our brothers' ideas. And this is a great place. What some of the other things, Rusty, do you think maybe that the black manosphere could work on to become better?
Okay. Well, I don't want it to be all. I'm not trying to say that I need to be kumbaya and stuff like that.
Right.
But as far as these beefs, I mean, the thing is, it's so you've had beefs. Say for example, look at Obsidian. Obsidian has been beefing with Alan Roger Curry and Angry Man for well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching their back and forth beefs for a while now. And I'm kind of worried that the black manosphere is kind of becoming characterized by that. So I think that that's one thing that needs to be discussed more in the black manosphere is all that stuff that's going on that kind of needs to end. I'm trying to put out more videos that kind of discuss the whole dick measuring contest, to kind of take this in a different direction. But I think that everything that you're doing on the Negro Manosphere is on point as far as traveling, as far as health, wealth, things like that. I mean, the thing is, I think you're actually hitting on everything within the Negro Manosphere. So as far as where the black manosphere can improve, just my main complaint is the whole dick measuring contest. I think that if that gets fixed, then everything else will follow.
Do you think that the dick measuring contest is between like certain people, or is it with, because there are a lot of YouTubers who are like, let's say, for example, when you think about the Black Manosphere, you have like the kind of the guys that are more known, like myself, the Obsidians, the Alpha Male Strategies, and then you have like some of the newer guys. Like there's a new guy called the Book of Alpharonomy. I've super chat on his channel sometimes. So guys that are like kind of like slowly being a part of it, but like not really maybe known so much, Senator True, stuff like that. Who do you think? Because most guys in the Black Manosphere, typically, even the newer guys, they don't really have problems. Do you think the dick measuring contest is just between a few people, or do you see it throughout the Manosphere in general?
It's probably just with the few people. One person that I want to point out is, and this person's really close to Obsidian, is Sean James.
Okay.
This guy, he calls. Basically, he uses the term beta male a lot, and he throws it out a lot. Just every 5 seconds, he's saying beta male and things like that. And so that's kind of an example. I know that like you have certain other YouTubers, like Angry Man or whatever, like threatening people with violence a lot and stuff like that. So that's kind of another form of it. So that's just some things that I see. And then of course, like I said, I mean those accusations of you must have been raised by a single mother. And let me tell you something that happened with Sean James a couple months back. Is one thing that that I notice a lot when you look at his videos is he wears a lot of button-down shirts and he has his collar closed and he's not wearing a tie. And I actually mentioned a comment. I actually mentioned that in a comment, and kind of a little off topic. I know that, but I actually got beat down with "You must have been raised by a single father." What does what I said have to do with that? You know what I mean? So I think that a lot of these guys, these guys, I suppose socially speaking, they're pretty low on the totem pole themselves, and they're looking for somebody to alpha up on. And so, anonymous people on the internet that they're never going to meet is a pretty easy target for them.
Okay. Let me ask you, also a few other things. I know like you made a video about some of the dating coaches here, and I know that was this a little bit different this time. Like in the first gender war, the dating coach thing wasn't really big on Black YouTube, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I know like since I've been a part of Black YouTube, I'm not a dating coach myself, but obviously that culture, if you can say, everybody knows like most of the dating coaches that are in Black YouTube, they write for the Negro Manosphere or they've done shows like whether it's been like Steve the Dean, whether it's been Alan Roger Curry, Ron Wells, Donovan Sharp. Most of the dating, I think the Negro Manosphere is probably the most known faction for dating coaches. Would you agree?
Right. Most definitely. In fact, I really can't think of any dating coaches in other factions at all. I can only think of the ones in the Negro Manosphere.
Yeah. So the Negro Manosphere is pretty big on the dating culture, the strategy of dealing with women and stuff like that. What do you think about the Black dating coaches as far as how they relate to Black men? Do you think this is also kind of a dick measuring contest a little bit also, or?
For some dating coaches, a little more or less than others. I think that a dating coach should be, and the thing is, I'm not a dating coach, so this is kind of take this for what it's worth. But I think that if you're going to coach somebody, and this is just coaching in general, not just dating coach, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build them up. Now, if somebody comes to you with a problem and they open up to you, the last thing you want to do is beat them down and make them feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one thing that I cannot stand seeing is when people do that.
Okay. Guys, do me a favor, brothers. I really appreciate you guys that are in here right now. Guys, do me a favor, like the video. My man Rusty Ball's here with us for some time. Obviously, he's out. I think he's driving the car right now. So, brothers, like the video, subscribe to him in the description. So we're just doing a quick show, and we're definitely gonna have the brother back. But what are some other things that obviously you're bringing out some good points. And shout out to my brother AM1. What where do you see the Black Manosphere's future? You know, let's say going into 2019, 2020, and what part do you see yourself covering in the Black Manosphere as a married man? You know, what do you think that we can do for brothers that are married, brothers that are in long-term relationships? What kind of information do you think we could, you know, provide for those brothers?
You know what? This is kind of a journey that I'm going through myself. You know, being new to the Manosphere and offering my perspectives on that one. Yeah, I really can't predict where it's going to go, but hopefully I'll actually be involved in the direction that it's going in. So I'm doing what I can to make my mark on it and to help steer it, you know, in a very good direction. Um, Hopefully, you actually have more married black men, you know, joining this, and you know, we can actually steer this in a good direction.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's a lot of, you know, the MGTOW and things like that being preached, and that's good for them. But the thing is, I really do think that, you know, marriage is still, and like I said, I'm not going to push it on people and say, hey, you need to do this or whatever. But I think that it still is a good a route that black men can take. I am a firm believer that a married household is one of the basic building block of any civilization. So I see it as a good thing, and like I said, it's not for everybody. Sometimes MGTOW, more whatever is good for that particular person. But like I said, I want to offer my perspective and show marriage as a viable option.
Okay. Um, Shout out to the brothers that are still there. Let's talk about this. I mean, I don't know if you have any. I know we're doing like somewhat of a quick show, but is there anything else you wanted me to address or talk about tonight while we have you on?
Oh, not that I can think of at this time. I'm actually getting pretty tired myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what we'll do, man. I won't keep you because you know it's 4:44 here in Poland, man. I just want to say early happy Father's Day to you, bro.
Thanks, man.
I'm a fan of your channel, man. I wanted to really to get you in on the conversation. You know, I reached out to you a few weeks ago. I know you're a very busy guy, but a lot of times, brothers, you know, the video I just did before you was with the guy that had 38 subscribers. And you have a little over 300 to you, you know, more known than them because obviously Obsidian did like 3 or 4 videos, 2 or 3 videos to you.
Right.
But I just want to tell you brothers one thing, man. Don't sleep on brothers because that you think they have like not a lot of subscribers. You know, like Rusty Balls like is really detailed in what he's saying. And that's the hidden jewels that I think that the Manosphere is missing. Is like, oh, well, this guy only has like 5 subscribers, so I don't want to has to say, and that's where we're missing out on the talent. You know what I mean? So, you know, anybody that I bring on is not a loser. Okay, like these guys can rock. You guys know that from AM1. He didn't have a lot of subscribers. He comes on the panel. He kills it. Everybody knows who he is now. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to start being in a culture to, you know, giving black men more of a voice, more of a panel. You know what I mean? And stop being on that bullshit. Like a low sub count doesn't mean anything. Like, especially here in Black Manosphere, like, you know, having a channel with 300 to 500 subs is actually pretty good. So, you know, brother, I just know that you have a future here. And, you know, some of the things that me and you may not agree with on personally, but I definitely know that you're a very talented guy. You're a guy that needs a bigger platform and a bigger mic, and you call it like how you see it. So I don't know, man. Anything else you want to tell the brothers about your channel, man? Anything else?
Not much at this time. Like I said, I'm kind of taking this one video at a time, kind of seeing where it takes me. But like I said, my thing is I'm actually trying to offer some positive, you know, positive messages, and like I said, offer different paths that black men can take. That you know, others haven't been used to hearing over the past 10 years or so.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully I can offer my new perspective, and yeah, we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, but before we kind of go, let me do this real quick, guys. Go in the chat, brothers. I'm putting this link. Shout out to Anti-Gravity. That's his chat, his YouTube channel. I want everybody to converge on that link. Subscribe to Rusty Balls. Hit the bell. I know that sounds crazy, right? Like subscribe to Rusty Balls, but yeah, go ahead and click the link. Hit the bell. You will not be disappointed. I check out his content all the time. The brother is really good. And like I said, hopefully sometimes I'll check in. I'll see you guys collabing with the brother. So do me a favor. I need all you brothers to go ahead and in the chat, hit the bell. Shout out to brother JJ Redwood. Subscribe to him. Put sub once you did it. And the brother is cool. Again, it's late where he's at. He's taking out time to do the show. I'm taking out time to do the show. And, we're doing this a quick show. So, Brother Rusty, man, you're welcome whenever you want to come in and participate in the panels. I really thank you, man, for coming on. And I'm glad that we were able to get you on and hear your side of the story. My bigger channel gets back next week, the one that has like 50,000 subscribers almost. And I'll be back live over there. So we'll start doing shows over there, bro. I'll be loving to have you over there also. Is there anything else you want to say?
Not at this time, but I will see you soon, all right?
Yes, sir. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. I'm only doing one fucking hangout tomorrow. Happy early Father's Day. We got Phil from the Advice Show, New Possibilities, Anthony Brian Logan, and a lot of other guys. So do not look for shit else from me tomorrow. You're only getting one fucking show, and that's it, you guys. Love you much. Peace out. Bye.